Do not watch this alone. Subscribe for more nightmares.
It was a storm-battered night in Columbus. A crowd of reporters had gathered outside the Ohio State House, camera flashes cutting through the downpour, raindrops glinting silver on the wet pavement. "Governor, a statement." "Governor, what do you have to say about the corruption allegations?" Questions echoed off the marble steps. Then a black SUV with tinted windows rolled up to the main entrance. The door opened. Ohio's newly elected governor, Marcus Coleman, stepped out, sharp navy suit, expensive cologne, a face carrying all the confidence power can buy. To the crowd, he looked like a man who'd won everything. But right then, something stirred in his throat. Marcus loosened his tie. An itch. Then a burn. Then the unmistakable sensation of something crawling upward. His breath caught. His aide, Danny, rushed to his side. "Governor, you good?" Marcus smiled. "Yeah, just a scratchy throat." A lie. Because at that exact moment, something shifted inside his ear, like an insect working its way in. A cold shiver ran down his spine. But the cameras were rolling, so he kept smiling. 3 months earlier, Marcus Coleman's political career had been on life support. The man once seen as the most powerful figure in Ohio politics now found himself isolated within his own party. That night, he sat alone in his farmhouse outside Zanesville. A bottle of bourbon on the table. The news droned on. Sources close to the party said Coleman likely wouldn't get the nomination this cycle. Senior officials were turning against him. Analysts speculated this might be the end of his career. The glass hit the TV. The screen went black. Silence swallowed the room. Marcus's breathing was ragged, his eyes burning, but underneath the anger was something rawer: fear. Fear of losing the seat. Fear of losing power. He grabbed the bottle and drank straight from it. Then a voice came from behind him. "Scared already?" Marcus turned. His old friend Ray Halloran sat on the couch, smiling slowly. "I've got a way," Ray said. "What way?" Ray paused. "There's a man." "Who?" "Silas Crane." The room went dead quiet. "He's a healer," Ray said, nodding slowly. "Not the church kind. Whatever you want, he gets it done. Senators, CEOs, judges. They all go to him eventually." "That's insane," Marcus said. Ray leaned in. "I'm not joking. He can get you that seat. But he takes something in return." Lightning cracked outside. White light flooded the window, and in that flash Marcus saw something in the glass, a dark shape, like a man standing out in the storm, watching him. He bolted to the window. Nothing there. Just rain and darkness. Ray's voice came again, "Think it over. You don't have much time." 3 nights later, at 2 a.m., Marcus's truck stopped in the middle of the Wayne National Forest. Darkness pressed in on every side, thick enough he couldn't see his own hand. Far off, a single structure glowed, an old chapel, lit with what looked like hundreds of candles, an island of fire in the black woods. Marcus climbed the steps slowly and stepped inside. In the center of the chapel sat a man, dark robes, a long gray beard, pale clouded eyes, and a smile that could stop a heart. "You came, Marcus Coleman." Marcus startled. "How do you know my name?" Marcus said nothing, because it was true. Silas smiled. "Where wishes come true. And where the bill comes due." Then he asked, "What are you most afraid of?" Marcus didn't answer. Silas lifted an old clay jar. It trembled in his hands, like something alive was moving inside. Marcus's stomach dropped. "What's in there?" Silas's eyes changed, a strange light rising behind them. "You want the seat?" "Yes." "You want the power?" "Yes." Then you pay the price. In an instant, every candle went out. Darkness swallowed the room. Only a chant remained, low and steady, repeating over and over in the black. Something cold brushed against Marcus's feet. Something crawling. He looked down and screamed. Silas kept chanting, the same words over and over, faster now, until silence. The kind of silence where you can hear your own pulse. Marcus blacked out. When he woke, it was morning. He was in his own bed at the farmhouse. Everything looked normal, like the night before had just been a nightmare. Then he caught his reflection in the mirror, a thin trail of black fluid running from the corner of his mouth. His blood went cold. It hadn't been a dream. After that, everything changed. The rival who'd been plotting to sink his campaign suddenly got swept up in a corruption scandal. A leading opponent was badly hurt in a mysterious car wreck out on Route 40. The party's tone shifted overnight. People who'd been against him a week earlier were suddenly singing his praises. The press started calling him the next governor before the primary was even over. By election night, there was only one name anyone was saying, Marcus Coleman. And then, a landslide. A historic win. Fireworks, crowds, confetti in the streets of Columbus. Everywhere, his name. But that same night, alone in the governor's residence, he heard something. He opened his eyes. The bedroom was dark. The sound was coming from the wall. Marcus flipped on the light and froze. Cockroaches. One, then another, then a third. Then 10. 50. Hundreds. The entire wall had gone black with them, crawling over each other, creeping steadily toward the bed. Marcus screamed. He killed the light, then flipped it back on. Nothing. Empty wall. Not a single roach. But the sound, that dry, skittering sound, still filled the room, like they were hiding somewhere close, waiting. Marcus didn't sleep that night. He had no idea the real nightmare was only beginning, because the ritual was complete. He had his seat. And now the curse was collecting its debt. It was the first cabinet meeting after the win. The State House conference room was packed with officials, every eye on Governor Marcus Coleman. He wasn't just a politician anymore. He was the center of power, the most powerful man in Ohio. Marcus spoke with total confidence. We're going to crack down hard on corruption. Law and order will be priority one. The room listened closely. Then something stirred deep in his throat, like a living thing crawling near his windpipe. He stopped. Grabbed his water. Drank. For a few seconds, it passed. Then it came back stronger, something climbing, slow and deliberate, closer than before. His pulse spiked. Governor, an aide asked. You okay? Marcus opened his mouth to answer. No words came out. Something else did, a small black cockroach, crawling out onto his tongue. The room froze. 1 second. 2. 3. The roach dropped onto the table and scurried away. Every face in the room had gone pale. No one knew what they'd just seen. Marcus himself was shaking. The meeting was over.
Do not look back. The nightmare is far from over.